New Thought Media Network proudly presents The High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour with Reverend Cynthia and Reverend Skip. Fridays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network.
I'm going to take down our picture first before I even start this so they can see who we are. Hey, everybody. Live. This is live. We are live in the studio. Hey, everyone. It's the High Vibe Hour with Rev Skip
and Reverend Cynthia.
We are just dropping into real time, real service, real ministry. We show up as we show up, authentically and filled with so much joy. Welcome to the High Vibe Hour, y'all. And today it's a really special day because we are dropping into the Bali. You're going to hear Bali like 5,000 times. So, this is our part 2 of our spiritual travel episode. And we are calling this the Bali episode. I'm so excited. How you doing, sis? What's going on?
I'm doing well, and now inside my mind, because you were saying Bali, I'm like,
Bali.
Isn't there a dance that became really famous?
I think there is. Is there something Bali.
I'm doing all these moves in my mind.
So amazing. I love when I get to hang out with you this week. I get to hang out with you once a week. It doesn't seem like enough, but we do talk on the phone, and this has been a really amazing experience with you. I'm so grateful we get to do it here at the New Thought Media Network, and we just get to show up and be who we're called to be.
Right? And I love that physical distance matters not.
It matters not. It matters not. So we have renamed our first segment of our show because we do 4 segments here. First segment, we're calling it the vibe, how you raise the vibe. And I just had a download in from meditation. It's when you're tapped in, you just be open and spirit gives you a new direction. So we're naming our first segment called How Are You Raising the Vibe? Which I love that. We get to ask each other and be really honest. Listen, there are things that life be lifing, but we don't have to be staying in the lower vibrational of life. We can raise the vibe. We have the power to raise the vibe. So we get to ask each other in this honest, authentic way, how are you raising the vibe? So Rev, how are you raising the vibe?
So this week, so you see that image behind me?
I love it. Yes.
It's one of my favorite images. The top portion represents the higher self, and the higher self is like putting itself into the physical body. So today in meditation, I was saying to my higher self, I'm ready for me to know exactly what it is that you want to do.
Yes.
I'm ready to live from that aspect of myself. Can you come in fully into every aspect of this physical body? Just don't scare me as you do it.
Ooh, I love that. Just don't scare me.
Right. Sometimes I feel that I'm afraid of my own power. So can I start to let that go?
Yeah.
Right.
So how are you raising that vibe though? What are you doing? Is there anything fun, anything interesting around that?
There is. It's like just being present with. So that was the meditation this morning.
Yeah.
And as I'm connecting with more and more of my authentic self, there is an empowerment and an element of fun that gets infused into my day.
Love that. So you got to give me one thing that's fun though. What's the one thing that's fun throughout your day?
Throughout my day. Today, I have a date with my husband later on.
Ooh, well, that's raising the vibe. Okay, can you, without keep it PG, what are y'all doing?
And that's the thing. All he asked me yesterday was, are you free Friday afternoon? He goes, so that we can go out. So I have no idea what we're doing.
Oh, I love that. Surprise dates.
Yes.
Surprise dates. Wow. That's part of the love language. Have you ever read The 5 Languages of Love?
I think many years ago.
Many years ago. I believe that is the of gifts and appreciation.
Oh, okay.
I want to call it the gifts of surprises.
And here's the funny thing. On Thursdays, I get to see him for 5 minutes because he gets home and then I start teaching in prac. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like in passing, are you free tomorrow? And I was like, yes. And he goes, okay, don't book anything.
Oh my, I love that. I love that. So, okay, so you got a good husband. You got a good husband. You are raising the vibes, sis. I love that.
And what have you done this week?
Well, this week has been, a myriad of emotions. Things are happening, which is very interesting. My mom was admitted to the hospital a couple of days ago. Something's going on with her heart. My brother and my sister's there. So it's been like, we are holding our consciousness. We are all praying family. So we immediately go into prayer. We pray together. My sister-in-law on the phone, my niece. That's what we do. We pray. My brother, talked to my brother. It's very interesting because it's been very challenging for me. My mother's in a room and she right now can't grab the phone because the phone is so far away and it's hard for her to move. Something's happening with her bones, osteoporosis. It's all good and hood. I know it's in God's hands. And she doesn't have her cell phone with her. So I haven't been able to get in contact with her except for via through my niece or my sister. So right after the podcast, I get to reach out on my sister. My sister's going to reach out to me when my mom's ready to speak. So it's been interesting having that family dynamic. It's been challenging on one hand, but it's been very healing on the other hand, because I've been talking to my family.
Wow.
More so than I've ever talked, and it's been wonderful healing and love. But, I'm like, okay, I truly believe in divine order. This is not a spiritual bypass. This means it's in God's hands. So people go, and I said to, a friend of mine said, how are you okay? And I said, people were asking me that a couple of days, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't want anyone to ask me if I'm okay anymore. I came up with this incredible, because it's a trigger for me. When someone says, are you okay? It means that there was something wrong.
That there's a chance there's something wrong. Right.
And for me, in my Gemini head, we were talking about our cards today. I'm going, okay, so what's wrong? Let me change myself. Let me change the situation. There's something that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
I would love people to ask me, how are you feeling?
Exactly.
How are you feeling today? How are you living today? Versus, are you okay? Because I'm always okay.
Yeah.
No matter what. No matter what. The other thing that I've done to raise the vibe, everyone has to go on a retreat and everyone has to have their retreat facilitation hat. You gotta have your retreat facilitation hat. You ain't the only one be wearing hats up here, sister.
I love it, Skip. I love it. I can't wait to do a retreat together.
I got my hat. I got another color too. I'm going to be wearing my hats today, and stuff. So I'm like, I'm going to surprise her, let her know. Because I've been talking about your hat every day. You wore your hat today. I'm going, she wore the hat. Yes.
What's the color that you got?
So I got these really cool. I got this orange with some reds. It's like a multicolor one. Yes. And then I have one with turquoise and red and oranges. I just didn't want to go just with the plains. Here's my plain yellow one. I love it. It's gonna need a little work in here, but we got it. We're going to Bali and we got to have our retreat facilitation hat. This is the hat that I see all the retreat facilitators wear. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get my hat. And you see this little thing? I got to get another. I want to get. Do you have a feather in yours too?
This one doesn't. There's another black one that has a red feather in it.
Okay, see. Hello, y'all. Hello. We are rocking the hats. Hey, y'all, remember, drop your comments. We have some comments. We have some people here today. Who's on with us today? We have Denise. Yes, you can. And you can go with us spiritually to Bali today. But we're going to be bringing Bali to this conversation today. Thank you so much, Denise, for being here. We love you. We love your comments. And you can join the conversation by dropping your comments in the field as well. So, in this idea that we are like heading into this whole spiritual retreat and travels, I've asked you this before, but what is the purpose of our spiritual retreats and travels? Why do we do this? Why do we go away where we can have a retreat or a staycation in our home if we wanted to? What is the calling for you to go to retreats? You're about to go into a retreat very soon as well. What is that calling upon us to go into retreating?
It's multifaceted, right? Sometimes if you look at it like a diamond that has many sides, one of the sides is healing, right? It's time and space and permission to allow yourself to release what no longer serves.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
one. The other aspect is to rejuvenate, to regenerate, right? To disconnect or unplug from our daily responsibilities and routines and schedules, so that we can rejuvenate. And then when we come back, we're able to serve and live from the overflow. We've filled up once again. So that we're not constantly running on empty. So healing, rejuvenation, self-discovery. And then the other part that I love is that it always sets me up for the next stage of my evolution.
Ooh.
Always.
Okay. Say that again.
Every time I go on a retreat, Achilles said this to me in 2014. You think you're going on vacation, but you're actually traveling to these locations to connect with the energy and the frequency for what it is that you're going to be needing as you're stepping into the new areas of your life.
And for people who don't know who Achilles is, can you let them know who Achilles is? Achilles Beckwith?
So Achilles Beckwith is my spiritual counselor, has been for 12 years. He's Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith's brother. He and Reverend Michael have been facilitating Agape International Spiritual Center since its inception.
Right.
He runs the bookstore. He's a mystic. He loves to go to Egypt. We will likely do a retreat to Egypt, I imagine.
I hope so. I know so. I'm calling forth. And you know that they are actually, I think Reverend Michael Beckwith is going to Ghana.
He is in August.
In August. Listen, if I didn't have all these other retreats planned, doing all the things, I'd be hopping on a plane going to Ghana. Are you going to Ghana?
No. I'm just doing Bali. Will be the one big trip this year.
Yeah. I love it. For me, it's one of those things where I'm finding, and this is going to be very interesting. The next retreat that I do will be in March of next year for the Nipi, which is the Balinese New Year, the Hindu New Year. And we're doing our retreat in March of next year. And I'm looking to do it differently, because every time I do a retreat, I'm going to work. So I don't really fully retreat, although I am moving. I just did a retreat here in North Hollywood at our church, North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. And I was working the whole time. Yes, I was out of kind of the space of my everyday movement, everyday speaking and teaching, but it's still work. So I want to find that balance. What's the balance for you when you go to retreats and you're there facilitating? How's that been a balance for you?
So when I have supported retreats or facilitated retreats, carving out a window, right, probably at the end of the day, where it is just relaxing, or allowing myself to sit down with the people that are present and having a good time, right? Just relaxing, talking, laughing, getting to know one another. That allows me to like take off my facilitator hat and just enjoy the individuals that I'm meeting.
And I do want to say too, what's been amazing about Bali, when I was in Bali, you have no choice but to slow down. Yes, you're facilitating. And one of the things I loved about how we did Bali, we did our spiritual work in the morning. And though the whole entire trip is a spiritual journey, But then the afternoon was really about going into the land and taking care of yourself. So I did allow myself to have some space.
Mhm. And that's what I'm talking about. Like when you travel to certain locations on the planet and you think you're there on vacation or that you're working, you're actually there to absorb the frequency of the land of Pachamama, right?
Ooh,
You're like picking up energy codes that are going to support you as you're having an expansive experience within your own consciousness.
absolutely. And again, for people who don't know what Pachamama means, can you give us a definition of that?
Pachamama is the earth. It's the
The
planet.
earth.
She's
It's
a
the planet.
sentient being.
So when we say Gaia, Mother
Mhm.
Earth, nature, Pachamama is the same. It's the same entity, the same mothering energy, the earth. And this is Earth Month. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
This is Earth Month. Earth Day is going to be next week sometime, right after Easter's Earth Day. And we
Mhm,
celebrate the planet. We take care of the earth, but this is Earth Month.
mhm.
And we've been doing spotlights on the Wednesday Wake Up about taking care of Mother Earth. That's what we need to do. So, but enough from us. We have a great conversation that we pre-recorded with our partner that is in Bali. His name is Cricket Masterson. This was so dope. I felt like I was transported back to Bali because he's in Bali. So if you have a little bit of noise, the background, it is what it is. But the recording just transported me back. I love I love Cricket. I love what he brings. He creates a space where we can do what we're called to do is to fill the retreat, create the spiritual practices. He's taking care of all the logistics. How was that experience for you? What did you love about our conversation with Cricket?
I can't help but become aware of his devotion to just being of service to people,
Yes. Yeah.
right? He wants to serve.
He
He
wants to
wants
serve.
to, right? So I love that about him.
Mm. All right, y'all. We're gonna run this video is about 30 minutes and we'll let Bali speak for itself, herself. And then we'll come back in. We're gonna watch it with you. So you'll see us on the side watching. Are you ready, Rev?
Ready? Thank you for being here, Denise.
Yeah. And everyone else that's on, drop in a message in a comment so we know that you're watching. So let's watch this video and we'll connect with you as well on these comments as well that's happening while the video's rolling. So let's do this. Hello, Cricket. This is really an honor for us. We've been talking about you on our show, the High Vibe Hour, for a very long time since we've been on the show, been doing the show. We've been saying cricket, 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 cricket. And finally, we get to bring you into the show for this beautiful interview. How are you in Bali? Because you're in Bali this, what is it, evening and we're morning? What is the time difference there? What's happening?
It's now midnight, and I am like 16 hours, 15 hours ahead of you. And
Well,
thank you
first of
for
all,
asking
thank
me to
you.
come do this interview. I'd love it.
Thank you so much. What I love about your journey, because I know your journey, I've been to Bali with you, and this idea of why you got to Bali is so important. I'm going back again in March of 2026, and of course, Reverend Cynthia is doing her trip coming up in July. But there is this pulling of people. I've heard a lot of people in America right now saying, "I think I want to move to Bali." So I don't know about anything to do with what's going on politically, but people are going, I need to move to Bali. What was your draw to Bali?
Well, I beat you all before you even had a chance to get here.
Yes, you did.
So for my 50th birthday, I bought myself a birthday present, and I never spend money on myself. So it was a trip to Bali. Paid the whole thing, bought the airline tickets, and about 3 weeks before I was ready to go, I looked at the map and said, I'm going where? Because I had no idea where Bali was. Got off the plane here and was just memorized by the people, the kindness, the love in their hearts, the love in their eyes. I really wanted to take every one of these people back to the United States and say, teach us how to do service industry again because we've lost it.
Wow.
And the second time I came back, when the wheels hit the runway, a voice screamed in my head, "You're home." I'm a tall person. These are shorter people. and I just melted in the chair. I knew I was home. I did the fourth trip here and I decided I was moving, and that was in February 2018. August 2018, I moved. I had everything sold, everything was gone, and I moved to Bali.
That's an amazing venture. Rev, isn't that amazing?
It is. I'm like wondering, what did you do during those 4 trips that helped you make that decision? What were some of the things that you experienced?
The first time here was just amazing. It's a different culture, different architect, different lifestyle, different everything. And I was just in awe and looking at the people and learning from them. I was sitting on a stone wall and there were ladies hauling dirt in buckets on their head. Hard labor. And I'm watching them just singing and laughing and doing this hard work with love and joy in their heart. And I'm just sitting there watching this. I didn't understand. Second time was I learned more about Bali and kind of had the seed planted in my head. Was this a place I could go? Trip 3, I was really looking like, where's a pharmacy? Where's a doctor? Where's the dentist? Where's the grocery stores? Fourth trip I came over here was cemented. I actually was looking for a house. I saw the outside of the house, never saw the inside of the house. I've been living there for 7 years now. I went back to the States, but I spent 4 days in Taipei just to see if I could do this all by myself in a country that the letters are not the same by any means. Got back to Chicago, walked into my boss's office, and she looked at me and says, okay, when are you moving to Bali? It's all over your face. You're not here.
See, vibration and energy knows. People know. You know, the funny thing is, I'm sitting here, I'm watching it, and you saw the smoke from my incense from Bali. Because when I brought my incense back, and I still have a bunch of it left, because y'all piled me up with incredible incense. These are the Bali beads that y'all made for us, handmade. These are the Bali mala beads. And I'm wearing my favorite Bali shirt. It still lives in me. It's something that I'm like, I dream about Bali. I smell the foods again. It's infused. What is that magic that happens in Bali? What is that thing that's it keeps calling my name? I don't know why. It just keeps calling my name.
So that magic, I really think it's the people, the peace, the love, the joy in their hearts. We're talking about a group of people that have very little, but they teach me so much about the simple things in life that, like family, friends, sitting down, having a cup of coffee and talking for 3 hours versus gotta do. They're here now in the present moment, and they're not wondering what they're going to do tomorrow, the next day, next week. They're always here. The simple life for them is the best life. Komang, who works with us, his whole world revolves around his family. Nothing else, his family.
It sounds so beautiful. What can you tell us about what someone would experience when they come on a tour to Bali with you?
Once you get out of the airport, we will be there to greet you, to take your suitcases, and that is the last time you have to touch your suitcase until you walk back into the airport. It's all about service. We want you to be here, present in the moment. We want to pamper you. We want to take you on a spiritual healing pilgrimage to here to Bali. It's not your normal vacation. It is a healing journey with pampering and food, meditation, spiritual lessons every day, alone times to contemplate whatever you're going through.
Mhm.
We encourage people to bring a small item that represents something that holds them back. And the first temple we go to is the temple where we leave that behind.
Mhm.
Then we start the healing process. Day 1 is we pay for massages for everybody to get you relaxed. We're on the ocean, so you hear the waves. The hotels are beautiful hotels. They're all beautiful, grand hotels.
You are wearing the hat. So
I am
talk about
wearing Balinese udang.
dung.
So
That's
this is
right.
the hat that the men wear for praying in the temple. And this is also formal attire. So if you look, I don't know if you can see it, there they are. There's 2 little tabs pointing up. Everything is symbolic in Bali. Mine is open. because I'm not enlightened enough, so I have to have a direct connection with God. These are two little antennas that help connect you to God.
Well, one thing I do love, and what we get to experience when I was there, and whenever whoever decides to go, maybe July or March of next year, you really brought us into the culture and the meaning of the dress and the hat, and why we do the prayers the way we pray in the temple, and why the incense, and why the rice. Everything has a symbol, and it's an incredible, not just a spiritual journey, it's a learning, it's culture.
Yes.
Speak a little bit about that, because that's intentionally done.
The culture. The culture. Where do you start? Everything is sacred and holy in Bali. Every place, everything. There are offering baskets out on the streets. Those are for the gods. There's rice, or usually rice or some little bit of food for nourishment for the gods. There's flowers in there. They do it 3 times a day. And the symbolism is that as they give, they receive. The clothes that they wear, both men and women wear sarong, and there's a different way that they put them on. And you have a sash that divides your waist up. Actually, I'll just stand up. I got mine on.
You got yours on? Okay, let's get a nice
Yes.
view of this. There it is.
Sorry.
My
There it
goodness.
is. So,
Ta-da.
sarong's on. You have a tie around the waist. The symbolism of that tie is from the waist down is animal. Waist up is God, your godlike qualities.
Wow,
So
that's
they
very powerful.
separate your animal parts with your higher self, your God qualities. Even when you do transaction with money, you'll see someone, I'll just translate. If you hand them money, the right hand, the left hand is underneath to honor what you're doing, giving and receiving of money. Walk by and they'll say Om Swastiastu, which is I see the godlike in you. There's several different translations. That's the one I use. Om Swastiastu. When you're placing an order, the staff will be standing there even if you haven't decided. They will wait patiently. There's nothing else that's going on in the world. They're there with you, to serve you, to be with you. Looking in their eyes, there is so much love that I think we as Americans have lost that you can gain back. When I come back from Bali, when I was coming back to the United States from Bali, I would go through culture shock. I would be appalled at the way that we treated each other in the United States. It could take me 4 to 6 weeks to actually become an American again. Because I hung on to that Bali in my heart as long and as hard as I could.
You know,
My goodness.
it seems like because of COVID or since COVID, because we've been so isolated for so long,
Hmm.
that it is that people have forgotten how to be with one another. So I really I like that aspect of this retreat or these retreats coming to Bali to help us reconnect heart to heart with one another, right? And how would you describe the beaches? Because I don't get a lot of time in nature when I'm in the States. So I'm looking forward to like immersing myself in nature in Bali. How is it?
Palm trees swaying, sandy shores, you hear the waves crashing. That's in the first and the second hotel. The first hotel, the waves are further out. There's a breakwater there. The second one, when you're sleeping at night, you hear the waves crashing on the shore all night long. Beautiful grounds. People, almost everyone has said the food tastes so much better here than it does in the
Absolutely.
States.
Absolutely.
It's not full of pesticides and these other things. Everything is farm to table, which you spend a lot of money to the grocery store for that. Everything is farm to table. If I buy bananas, I have to eat them in 2 to 3 days, otherwise they're bad.
You know,
I
it's
buy
very funny. You was
vegetables.
when I
It's
was
a day
there, I
or
ate
two and they're
more.
going bad. I'm
I
sorry?
ate more. When I was there, I ate more than I normally do, and I lost weight. I ate
Wow.
more food in Bali, and I lost weight. That says a
Yes.
lot about the food that we have here in America.
Well,
Exactly.
there's not all the additives and preservatives. Everything is farm to table.
It's
You know,
powerful.
the fish you're eating was out swimming that night before. The chicken was running around earlier. Everything is fresh. There's nothing processed here.
And vegans would not have a hard time there at all.
No,
Vegans have a very easy time. There's a lot of soy-based foods here. They use a lot of tempeh. They do a lot of, I can't think of the word right now.
I ate a lot
Soybean
of
based.
plant-based when I was there. I ate a lot of
Yeah.
plant-based when I was there. And there was a lot of so many different options of just fresh vegetables that had been
Yeah.
cooked in such a beautiful sauce. It was so delectable. Some days I just ate the plant-based food. There were days that it was just so incredible. And if you love fish, the best fish I've ever tasted in my life.
Wow.
And it's just one of those things. And I want to say this too, that yes, we're going on a spiritual journey. Yes, it's absolutely fun. It's amazing. But they're incredible. When we went to Abood, we went to a couple of restaurants that had this incredible nightlife that was so incredible. Abood is probably one of my favorite places. I don't know why, but can you explain people who've never been to Abood what is that energy? What is that vibration there?
So Ubud is supposedly the center of the vortex that covers all of Bali. So there's a lot of yoga going on there, a lot of vegetarian, vegan restaurants up there, more so I think in the other island. We have a very special woman that comes to your hotel room. Her name is Ibu Jaro. She is a Balinese faith healer. She is a true Balinese faith healer. She is not a dime store psychic because she does not speak English. I found her through friends who were going to her, Indonesian or Balinese people actually. They hauled me along, and you have to have an interpreter, which we have for you. She will tell you things that nobody else would know. She will tell you things that are going to be happening in your future, or give you ideas and paths that you may want to take a look at to alter your life. We also go to a very special place called the Pyramids of Chi. It is ancient sound healing inside a pyramid. You're laying on a futon, you have a bolster underneath your knees, you have a lava sand mask over your eyes, and they play ancient instruments for over an hour. I describe it as getting a total body massage like you've never had before, and no one's touched you at all.
Wow.
Yes.
It's incredible. It's incredible. I mean, there was skin that was coming off me that hadn't been moved since 1975. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I walked out fresh. My skin was as soft as a baby's butt. It was amazing. Pyramid of Chi, and some people know on our show I do sound bowl healing, and it was so special, Cricket, to actually drop into a space where I could, as a sound bath healer, to receive. And it was so healing. I walked out renewed. The gongs and the sounds, and it's a space where you can rest. But I remember this too. You get 3 times to fall asleep and start snoring, and then they ask you to leave. So I was so from getting to Bali and all the work I had done leading up 2 years before getting there. When I dropped into Pyramid of Chi, then I just had to keep my eyes open because I know I had one more chance. Because I was deep into heaven, brother.
I just start on my side, and if I fall asleep, I fall asleep, because then I won't snore. I just right on the side.
It was so powerful. It was a release of, seriously, it felt like when I went to Bali, it was a release of pent up energy I've had for decades. And it allowed me to release unwanted. We talk about this in our visioning. What must I release for the vision to be manifested? True story. Sat down with Eva Giroux. She says, she said, medicine man, and the translator, medicine man, you're a medicine man, you are healer, she said, you are a holy man. And she says, but you got to remove the things that you don't like, because part of this you don't like. And I was in my own personal dark night of the soul. And I realized, oh, this is no longer serving me. And I went back to work, went back to the church I was serving at the time. I gave him my notice. And a year later, I'm back here in LA at the most incredible experience spiritually I've ever had in my life. And I had to release that. I could have held on to that job, stayed there, kept fighting and doing all the things with in the church that I wasn't being embraced. But it was Eva Giroux and that trip to Bali helped me to release what no longer served. It changed me inside out. I came home a new person. I was like, okay, got it. This has got to go.
I can't wait. I already know what I want to release. I'm going to find something to represent it. I can't wait to meet with the medicine woman. I can't wait to experience the beauty of the people and the island itself and you.
Yeah. So,
We
Reverend
just
Cynthia, I
had a
want
lady.
you. I'm sorry. No, go, Cricket, go.
We just had a lady that came over here and she made a very, very small painting. And she painted all that she wanted to release on that little canvas. And I
Wow.
thought about it and I was like, that was very mindful. Instead of just picking up something to drop it,
Yeah.
it took time for her to do it.
Mm.
And in her words, I made it purposefully ugly. And it was not pretty by any means, but it meant so much to her to release whatever was holding her back.
Oh my God, that's
This is very
beautiful.
powerful. Because we're gonna have to bring this beautiful interview to an end. But here's the one thing I want to say that y'all, we have two different trips that are going on here. Cynthia, your Reverend Cynthia, your trip is what are the dates again?
July 13th through the 24th, and you likely need to depart 2 days prior because you gain a day. They're a day ahead, right? So it takes like 2 days to travel.
And I want to let Cricket know, or for the people to know, Cricket helps you to get everything in order, preparing you to come. Our job is to get you there and to tell you how amazing it is. And we were creating the spiritual experience when you get there and all that. Cricket handles everything from make sure you have your passport, make sure you have everything you need, getting to the hotels, which is very, very powerful. Cricket, very quickly, can you tell us a little bit about Cynthia's trip? And then I want to talk about Nippy.
Cynthia's trip is going to be the journey of healing, where we stop at the Goalawa, the Bat Cave Temple. And that's where you drop something off that no longer serves you. Then the next day, we're going to go to Tirthaganga, which is the holy waters. That translates to the waters of the Ganges River from India, Hinduism. So for purification there. After that, we're going to go to Lampuyang, also known as the Skygate Temple. And the Hindus feel the higher up you go, the closer to God you are. So they want to be next to God. So we're going to pray up there.
Yes.
Then we take off to Ubud, and this is where we encourage shopping and more shopping and more shopping. We'll stop at a silversmith along the way. Beautiful, beautiful jewelry, very reasonable prices. It's manufactured right there. You get to watch how they make the jewelry, so they're all one-of-a-kind pieces. Holy Woman is going to have some time with you, about 45 minutes with a translator. We treat it as the as sacred space, just like going to a Catholic confessional. Whatever's said in there stays in there. Translator does not bring it out. Ibo Joro does not bring it out. If you wish to talk about it, you can, but it's very, very, very personal. There is a salon up there that you can have a lovely massage, a scrub, get slathered in papaya, slid into a bathtub, and soak for 30 minutes. It's an hour and a half treatment. It's $30. We encourage you to do that. Then Pyramids of Chi for healing. If we go to our last temple, which is Tanalot, that temple is about 20, 30 feet off the shore of Bali. We actually walk through water to get to this temple. All the temples that we go into, we are allowed to go into because we're there to practice Hinduism and learn about their traditions, their cultures, and their faith. Westerners are not allowed to go in where we go. It's very sacred space. Wow. The hotel is about 20 minutes from the airport. So once you land, you're close to the hotel. And we go back to the same hotel before you leave. That way there's no problems in traffic and getting you to the hotel. To the airport, we leave in plenty of time to make sure you make your flights.
That's beautiful.
I encourage you to come early, stay late.
Yeah.
Just
And
be.
what is the difference? What is not difference, but Nippy is a whole different experience because we're going to be dropping into a sacred experience. And just speak a little bit about that experience before we close out here.
Nippy is the Hindu New Year. So it's not celebrated like what we would celebrate a New Year in the United States. What they do is, and we participate in this. It was actually a lot of fun. At 5 o'clock, you make a whole bunch of noise. We're going to be in a hotel, and you go to the 4 or 5 temples in the hotel. You scream at it to invite all the evil to join you. And they have trays of food that they're carrying to invite all these evil spirits and all the
Mhm.
evil that man has left behind. So when you come here to leave problems behind, we clean them up in March. So we go to all the temples out in the middle of the street. They put these offerings. They crack an egg to keep the spirits there, keep them eating. And then they parade. It's like a 10-minute walk from the hotel. It's called Ogo Ogo. They're paper mache and bamboo structures that they've spent months working on. Detailed, beautiful pieces of art. They parade them around the streets to gather all the evil spirits that have not gone to the offerings, collect them all, and then they burn them that night. The next day is Nippy Day, the day of silence. If you can imagine, in the space station, the night before Nippy, you see Bali. Nippy Day, all electricity is dimmed. There's no outdoor lights. The international airport closes. No movement whatsoever. We're in a large hotel compound, and that's where we're going to be for 24 hours. Just in the silence. You can enjoy the pool. I've got a little something special worked up for Nippy Day that we're going to be doing. I've got a
Yes.
few things up my sleeve.
So we're
Little
actually
anti-
having a silent retreat in the middle of the healing retreat. That is so powerful. No, that's going to be March, the third week in March, and the information is going to be up on my website. It's already up. It's on Cynthia's website as well. We're going to put all this information in our program notes, so you can click directly and get information for both trips. But last but not least, tell us about CSL Tours and how can people connect with you if they want to create their own tour to Bali. They can reach out to you directly.
Sure.
Tell us about CSL Tours.
So our website is csl-tours.com. It stands for Cultural Spiritual Living Tours. It was created by 3 of us. There is a gentleman from Java, a gentleman from Bali, and me, the American. And we put together mostly spiritual journeys, but we can cater to whatever your needs are. We've had other groups come from California that wanted to go whitewater rafting, and we will help you. We can help make accommodations, transportation, whatever your needs are while you're in Bali. That's why we're here.
And we're going to put your information in the program notes as well. So in the description from our Bali, this is our Bali episode that you're graciously spending your time with us. But all the information for CSL Tours will be there. Reverend Cynthia's information for her Bali trip, my Bali trip. This is going to be amazing, y'all. So last but not least, I'm going to say this. If you are ready, and I know most of you are ready to shift and change your life, and you've been thinking about, I always wanted to go to Bali. Well, that spirit saying it's time. We have 2 opportunities right now, one this year, one next year. So you choose and drop in. And when we get closer to March of next year, we're going to bring you back on the show. And we're going to have another conversation about what happened on Cynthia's trip, getting people ready to go on my trip. So we'll bring you back after this July experience. I am so grateful. I love you, Cricket. I love you.
Love
You're
you.
my friend. You're my buddy. You're just like, people don't know. We're not just co-workers together or partners in this
No.
business. We are friends, and we have spent some really tearful moments together because you and I cry a lot.
Yes, we have.
So
I will
wanted to-
say that.
I wanted to let our viewers and our listeners know that this is the real deal. This is a heartfelt experience, and y'all, you will be loved up by my brother Cricket. Loved up. And Cynthia, I'm so grateful. If I didn't have to go on a vacation, listen to me. If I didn't have to go on a vacation to London, if I didn't have to go to London and to Ireland this year, I'd be going with you. But Spirit is saying go away somewhere else and then get ready for your own tour. So I know it's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
Cricket. Okay, Cynthia, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Speak.
No, I'm just saying I'm just looking forward to it, as are the individuals that have signed up. And if anyone that's listening to this is interested, we would be delighted to facilitate this for you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Cricket, for and go to bed because it's late.
Yes, thank you, great kids.
I just have one thing to say.
Yes.
Can affirm coming to Bali will change your life.
Mm-hmm.
Going to a place that I didn't even know where it existed on Earth as a birthday gift for me. 7 years later, I moved.
It's powerful.
It's that powerful of a place. It's that
That's
dynamic
amazing.
of an island.
Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you so much, Cricket. We absolutely love you, and Om Swastiastu.
Om Swastiastu.
I came here not really expecting or not knowing what I was going to meet or what was going to greet me here. And as I stepped off the plane, I felt cared for. So I know I was in a safe space.
Wow. That was amazing. And I started to play another video, which is not the video that I wanted to play. So I'm stopping it and we'll play it another time. There's another healing video that I would love to play. But how amazing was that conversation?
I was there, but somehow it felt so new to me listening to it again. It was amazing. It kind of landed more this time for me. And I can't wait for all of the ceremonies and the rituals that we're going to be doing.
So I realized something. This is on YouTube, this video that I'm playing, and I was a part of this last trip. So if it's on YouTube, we don't owe nobody no money because it's out there on YouTube. This is a recall of the last Bali trip I did with Cricket, and I had the absolute beautiful experience. And this video is part of the Zen Pike website. So I want you to go to zenpike.com and find out a little bit more about what Zen Pike does. It is a spiritual education site. So I'm going to play this because I'm in it and I helped to create it. So I'm going to play it. It's on YouTube. So watch this. This is one of my favorite videos from Bali. So let's play it anyway. Let's do it.
Being surrounded by nature has allowed me to be present, to enjoy what this world gives us and we often take for granted. It's kind of like being in God's garden.
Join us on this transformational journey to Bali. It will change you in ways you can't imagine.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Isn't that great? And that video was created by Zen Pike. So check out zenpike.com, find out more information. But it was life-changing. Life-changing. Do you love cricket?
I love cricket, and I can't help but feel like you and I are going to have to get to know each other when I come back, because I'll be a whole new person.
I know, Hazel. Thank you so much for joining in. Wherever time, there's no lateness in spirit. You showed up at the right time, and also just let everyone know all the information for Bali will be listed in the program notes. It's already in there in the feed. I'm going to repost this on my Facebook page with all the information in there. I'm going to drop some videos in there for Bali. I know Rev Cynthia is going to do the same thing. So if you are ready to go on your spiritual journey, 2 opportunities. You have one in July and one of March next year. Both will be transformative. What are you looking for? Because I've been, and I know what I'm looking forward to going back to revisit. What are you looking for? Because we make up our own journey already. If you're like me, I've already created a whole nother journey to Bali, what I want to do. What journey have you created? What do you want to see? And our friend Reverend Sandra is online with us. Hey Rev, we love you so much. And thank you for being a part of the show here. Thank you, Rev. Great realtor. So if you need some real estate, reach out to Reverend Sandra, y'all. Just look her up on Facebook. Anyway, go ahead.
So for me, it has always been a dream to facilitate retreats, especially in particular that retreats that focus on healing. So for me, this feels like I'm surrendering to my soul calling. And of course, I'm looking forward to the healing that can occur for me on a physical level as well, as I come into alignment with my soul purpose, which is to lead people on retreats. So I just have tremendous expectations for the rest of my life.
I love that. Part of what I'm looking forward to is going back to, there's many things that I love, but I'm dreaming about the food. I love the food there. I'm dreaming about the self-care of the way when you go to a booth, there's a place where you go where they scrub you down, release all the dead skin, the massages. I'm looking forward to the shopping. But I'm also looking forward to making a spiritual connection, because I have friends that went to Bali with me the first time. In fact, the person is helping us with our travel. His name is Rich Rivera. If you want more information about travel, reach out to us, Rich Rivera. He went to Bali with me, and he's going to do all my travel arrangements going out. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. So I'm looking forward to that. It's just exciting. What was your biggest takeaway from what Cricket was saying?
How he wants us to be able to be present with ourselves, which is why he and his team will tend to every one of our needs, so that we don't have to worry about anything.
Powerful. What else?
From Cricket, I love when he was talking, as he was describing the way that woman painted what she wanted to release and how she purposely made it ugly. I thought, oh my God, it just brought like another level of how we can prepare to release what no longer serves. So I'm already ordering, I've already ordered like these little canvases for me to do the same thing. And the purification, I can't help but think of Jesus and how he and John the Baptist worked with water, because it's Good Friday.
Yeah,
so,
it is Good Friday. Good Friday, y'all.
Right? So we get to go through our own water purification process while we're there. I love the idea of touching heaven, right? Going to that temple and touching heaven. And then I'm most excited to meet the medicine woman, the holy
Eva Giroux. She helped me. She got me unstuck, which I thought I was stuck, but she was like, no, you're not. Just you need to release some things. So I was thinking about this. We did our oracle card pulling this morning, and these cards are called the manifestation deck. And I was introduced to the I don't know if you can see this, the manifestation deck in Bali at the Pyramid of Chi, where the sound healing went on. That was the first place. So I'm being called to, let's pull a deck, and every part of this card says I am. It starts off with I am, and it says abracadabra. And abracadabra is a word that means make it so, or so it is. So I'm going to pull a card for our trip on this right now. What card am I pulling? It starts with I am, and the card that I pulled for us today, imbalanced.
Wow.
Now we've been talking. Listen, cards don't lie, baby. I am balanced. What has been my biggest challenge since we started this podcast? Finding balance.
Right? Finding balance in all areas of our lives.
You can't make this up, y'all. You can't make this up. Just pulling I am balanced. And then I pulled for you today. I see perfection in everything. And then I pulled the card for myself this morning was I'm filled with wonder, and they go hand in hand. I am balanced. Oh my goodness. I am just
incredible. Know what I just remembered?
Yes.
So during the movie Eat, Pray, Love, when Julia Roberts goes to see Ketut, the medicine man in Bali.
Yes.
On her first trip, he gives her an image of It's almost like a body without a head. Its eyes are here in the chest. Its hands are like this in front of the heart.
Oh, yeah.
And it has, I think, 4 legs that represented her need to come into balance.
We are dropping into this mystical zone in this Bali space. Oh my. Oh my. I have one more video to show it. This is the original video I wanted to show, but this is just pictures of our spiritual retreat. We're going to do a video together, really sitting out into the ethers. But here's another video around Bali that I would love for you to watch. Here we go. Okay. Can we go now? Can we just get on a plane? Can we just go to Bali now? I just want to go.
I'm like, how can I make space in March to go with you again?
Well, let's do it. Let's infinite possibilities. So we always end our podcast by saying, asking that simple question: what is your vibe insight for this week, Rev? What's your vibe insight?
It's a powerful one. That my job truly is to bring heaven to earth, and this is part of how.
Right? That's powerful. That's powerful.
Watching that last video that you just shared, I got teary-eyed because I feel
did too.
Right? I'm like, that this is what we're here for.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to piggyback off of you on my vibe insight. I was created to do this.
Yes.
You and I were created to have this partnership. Mm-hmm. The heart always knows partnership, which is part of the heart insights that we talk about here on this High Vibe Hour here at the New Thought Media Network. But beyond that, I was created to work with you. You're created to work with me, so we can create an experience for people to find who they are. We were created and called to do this. So I'm saying yes to this partnership. The other vibe insight that I'm carrying away from this space is I look good in this hat.
Absolutely. And that mala, oh my God.
Look at this. I look good. I got my ohms. I got my bracelets. I look good in my gear. My mystical gear.
It suits you incredibly well.
Thank you so much. Once again, y'all, you can find out information about the Bali trip by going over to Rev Cynthia, cynthiaandrews.org/Bali trip. for me, you can find out about my Bali trip, which is in our notes anyway. So you can click on it right now, go directly to our website. It is skipjennings.com, the Bali retreat. How do you want people to reach out to you, Rev Cynthia, my dear sister?
I think the easiest way is to go to my website, which is on the bottom of the screen, cynthiaandrev.org. And you can send me a message through there. So that's the easiest.
And they can find you on all the socials, right?
All the socials, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok.
Awesome. Awesome. And you can find me, y'all, at skipjennings.com. And I am on all the socials, Rev Skip Jennings. And check it out. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I'm on TikTok, but I'm kind of still in that place. I'm not sure if I'm going to still tick or talk. I'm still praying about ticking and talking, but I'm there. There's some videos there. You can follow me. Also, y'all, this is the New Thought Media Network. And if you're looking to support this incredible movement, we want you to go to ntmedia.org and donate. Or you can donate directly to myself or Reverend Cynthia. I almost called you Dr. Reverend Cynthia, so I'm calling something forth. The Reverend Dr. Cynthia, you can go to PayPal. What is your PayPal handle for donations?
It's my email address, Cindy with a Y, CYNDI, period, my last name, AMBRIZ @gmail.com.
And for PayPal for a donation to me, you can go right to my website or you can go to PayPal directly. I am Skip at skipjennings.com. You're also an assistant minister where, Rev?
At Las Vegas Centers for Spiritual Living, and I will be speaking on May 4th at 9:30 a.m. So you could catch us online or you can come in person if you are local to Las Vegas or just happen to be in town.
Love it, love it, love it. And I'm at the New Thought Media Network. I am at the New Thought Media Network, but I am at the North Hollywood Church of Religious Science, a oneness center that you can catch me on a Wednesday night. We do something called the Wednesday Wake Up at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here online, Facebook, YouTube, or you can Zoom in with us. Also, we do 2 services on Sunday. We be busy, and it's Easter Sunday, y'all. So we're going to be doing our 2 services, 9:45 and 1 at 11:30. Also, we do have a Good Friday healing service. Myself and my spiritual director, the Dr. Sydney Steen, we're going to be doing a healing service. That is tonight because it's Good Friday. So I'm going to be busy, but check it out. You can hit me up directly on social media, DM me, find out more information. Go directly to our website, nhcrs.org. There's a lot going on.
My goodness, Skip.
A lot going on.
Thank you for today for saying yes to this in the midst of everything else that you say yes to.
Well, let me tell you something. I absolutely adore you. And whenever I drop in, I feel the sense of healing. I feel the sense of presence, the sense of divine presence through and as us. And thank you so much for you saying yes. And last but not least, we want to thank you for joining in today and having fun with us. I mean, this is fun for us. This is our ministry, our service, but this is so much fun.
And you know what I loved about it is that we're creating space, right, to have more fun, to have more experiences of enjoyment. So thank you, everyone.
Hey, y'all, remember transformation is a choice. You chose today because you showed up and said yes. And be kind because kindness is free. We love you. Peace and blessings. We'll see you next week.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents The High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour with Reverend Cynthia and Reverend Skip. Fridays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network.